Morning, guys. So I'm here sitting in my lounge with my dog. There he is. And I'm going to run through the answers to the quiz that you've been doing. Okay? So let's have a look. Question number 1. That was the Equality Act. Number 1, Equality Act 2010. Number 2, 3 of the characteristics. You could have had race and ethnicity, disability, religion or belief, age, sexual orientation, gender reassignment, pregnancy or maternity, or marriage or civil partnerships. Number 3, give an example of how this discrimination continues despite legislation. So what we're talking about there is, why does this stuff carry on even though there's laws to stop it? So it might be things like homophobia in schools, people shouting gay in corridors, racist chants at football matches, sexist stereotypes, unequal pay even though the law says there shouldn't be. Number 4, what else can be done to tackle discrimination? So this is another one of those fairly annoyingly easy ones where you can say, okay, education in schools, getting rid of having multi-faith days, having mixed schools so that they're not all segregated. You know, Muslim Dave. If I got my mate Muslim Dave, then I don't believe the headline's all about Muslims because it's just Dave. Maybe some rules around media reform, that kind of stuff. Number 5, what is meant by the term positive discrimination? So that's when you treat somebody favourably in order to redress discrimination. So, for example, Labour Party have all-female lists. So they'll only put candidates forward from a selection of candidates, but they're all women because they're trying to get more women back into Parliament. Number 6, what document written in 1215? That was the Magna Carta. Number 7, the UDHR. Number 8, the European Convention on Human Rights, 1950. Number 9 is the CRC, the Convention on the Rights of a Child. Make sure you say convention, not conventional. Number 10, the Human Rights Act, 1998. Number 11, give an example of a decision made by the European Convention or by the European Court that some people may disagree with. So we've got things like they couldn't deport foreign criminals because they had the right to a family life. Votes for prisoners, really good example. Let's have a look. Number 12, difference between a moral and a legal right. So moral right is something we should have. A legal right is something that we must have. It's enshrined in law. Number 13, what organisation protects workers' rights? It's trade unions. Number 14, what 2 key areas do they negotiate on? Remember I asked you to learn that sentence, that they look after our pay and conditions. This was more recent, by the way. The stuff on unions happened when some of you were already off school. So if you didn't know some of that stuff, that's a cue to start looking into that. Use your revision guide. Send messages out on the group email to find out and maybe get people to take photographs of their notes in their book and post it for everybody to see. Number 15, give 2 methods they may use. So what sort of stuff do unions do? Well, they act just like pressure groups. So in many ways it's quite similar, but it's all focused on jobs as employers. So they might meet with the employer. They might send letters to the employer. They might lobby their local MP. They might try and raise the profile of their issue in the media by having interviews or writing articles for the paper or online for blogs. And ultimately, the top level, if nothing else has worked, then they might go on strike. Number 16, what key term means customer? Again, this whole last section here was another section that some of you weren't here for. A customer is a consumer. Sorry, a consumer is a customer. Got that wrong way around. A consumer is a customer, somebody who buys stuff. What piece of legislation protects our rights as customers? It's the Consumer Rights Act. The Consumer Rights Act. Don't forget you need the word act in that. And then lastly, which organisation offers free advice on a whole range of issues? It's the Citizens Advice Bureau, the CAB, Citizens Advice Bureau. So hopefully you can use that to check your own answers. I've posted, it'll probably kick in on Monday, I think, the next lot of work, which is basically starting to make revision cards on all the stuff that we've learned in this topic. Couple of weeks to make the cards, then a week to use them and actually start cover, check, repeat, see if you've learned stuff. And then after that, I'll ping out the end of unit test. So hopefully you're all staying sane. Hopefully you're all posting videos onto the PE Twitter as well to show that you're being active. Hopefully you're using the group email. Send each other messages. Try and pick up on the things that you don't know. I will speak to you all soon. Stay safe, stay well.